So, what's going on?
Slowing is. I gotta go take that Skylarking tomorrow for a small.
Sky.
How wonderful!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he wants to sell
James.
it.
Skylark.
That's what's going on right now.
So James, you and I are live right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now.
Hope you enjoy.
So what we're gonna have a quick discussion about is movies. That's the subject. That's the ticker taker at the bottom of the screen there. The subject is movies. So let me get this straight. A lot of people out there don't like The Godfather 3.
They don't.
I don't understand. Okay, look. It's not a bad movie, in my opinion.
Andy Garcia, okay. I thought he was really good.
Of course he was good. He was good in that movie. He played his role pretty well. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of people who didn't like The Godfather 3. I'm not quite... I mean, for various reasons, sure. But I always thought it was a good movie, okay? There was one part in the movie that stuck out to me the most. Well, out of any scene in the movie, there's one that stuck out to me the most. You know, I've watched it all the time. It's a good movie. Is the scene where Michael is in the hospital and he learns about Joey Zaza being killed. Okay. Now, what I always thought was interesting is that the person, Al Neri was the underboss, okay, and he could only give the okay. I mean, technically, he could have given the okay, but because the order was given by Connie, the sister,
it's sealed deal.
Yeah, in a way, because think about it, it's like it's
even though the men, thing. Even though in that order, men have full control. Well, she, on her level of the line, she was on that board. She's on the board. She's, instead of the chairman of the board, she's the woman of the board. So whatever she says, you have to do. You don't, question her word. What she says goes. So,
Well, I thought it was always interesting. Well, yeah, because she's a blood Corleone, and Al Neri and Al Neri basically acted on her. She said, "Do it," and then he was like, "Okay, I guess we'll go from there." And then it happened.
Yeah, Well, you don't want to get whacked. You don't want to listen to her. You don't want no problems. Well, I like how you brought that up. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Well, I mean, there's a lot of other reasons that people don't like The Godfather 3, but I always thought The Godfather 3, I like.
I think it was one reason is that they got
having
so. I think it was just.
I think we're having some connection issues. We're having some connection issues. I think it might be the internet. I'm not sure. But that's okay. We'll keep going. Anyhow, so I just wanted to bring that quick part up about The Godfather 3. I know a lot of people don't like The Godfather 3. I do.
Well, everybody got so.
I don't care.
Yeah, everybody got so used to and the character of Michael Corleone. Al Pacino playing him. Everybody got so endeared with his character that I think it was just kind of like they didn't want to accept that now. Michael Corleone's in his what was he 60s at that time?
Probably 60s. Probably. Maybe early 60s.
Yeah. He started having medical problems. People never saw that weak side of him before, and, vulnerable. I'm old, and then him shifting the whole family into, Immobiliare. And, a lot of people didn't like that, It's like, well,
I always thought that was interesting. I always thought that was interesting. They keep bitching about Immobiliare. Fucking Italians.
It's like, dude, what the fuck? We started off as a fucking goddamn olive oil company. So what the fuck, Yeah, exactly. What does it matter?
Genco Oliviore. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that look, we can talk about The Godfather 3 again a little more later on, but I just wanted to bring that. I always thought that was an interesting part to bring up was that that Joey Zaza was executed, at the behest of Connie Corleone, who's not a mobster, but she's a Corleone of the family. So anyhow, all right, what's another movie? What's another movie we can? Yeah, I know that was a gangster flick. I know that was a gangster flick, but what other? Okay, what movie have you seen recently that you thought was good or worth bitching about?
The Departed, but it went out in 2008. So that's been a while.
Yeah, that came out a long time ago. I thought that movie was all right. I haven't fully seen it myself. I've only seen snippets of it. For somebody who's really into music and movies and media, as such as we are, we're kind of like late. You know what I'm saying? Kind of sort of.
I don't know.
Late.
Sometimes, yeah, we're kind of a little late on some things, but I love The Irish. With Al Pacino,
we're in our
Joe
third.
Pesci.
What about the one we watched yesterday? That was fucking good. Tell about that one. Huh?
What was I going to say? I can't recall any movies that I've seen lately that were okay. But there was It's interesting to kind of just do this raw. You know what I'm saying? I should have thought of something other than just like, hey, let's talk about movies. But we're just talking about movies, So there's a lot of people on YouTube who do that. They bitch and bone about movies.
How about this? How about when's the last time you've heard music that doesn't sound the same? And I'm not just talking hip hop. I'm talking like any genre of music nowadays. Have you noticed they all just have this steady stream of just the same sound? They all sing in the same way sometimes.
They change the sound.
Well,
and what I'm getting to is mainstream music. This is what I was going to get to. Excuse me, because I should have brought up in the first place. Sorry. Mainstream music in our era, in our generation, compared to what they call mainstream music now, right? I'm saying the sound. When we had mainstream music, it wasn't like, all the same sounding shit. Everybody had their own style of different things. Now it's just like one, like, you got these rappers that are mumbling. I can't understand what the fuck they're saying, because they probably had a little too much codeine or something. But I don't know. Maybe their mother didn't love them enough. I don't know. But just this mumbling stuff, and it doesn't rhyme. I mean, even like all the old school rappers even say like, what the hell are they fucking talking about? And ain't even rapping, like, nothing. It's just gibberish, most like everything nowadays. It's just, I mean, well, I'm not gonna go out and say that all good music isn't out there anymore. You just gotta find it.
Of course there is. There's still good music out there. It's just, we were always, and a lot of other people too, were always into like the underground. But what's the underground? What is the underground sound anymore, especially nowadays?
Yeah.
But I really want to talk about movies. That was the subject. So I need to tell you about this. What was this? Okay, there was a movie that I saw a while back. I forgot the name of it. I had to look it up, but it was a decent movie, but it also made me angry. It's a movie with Morgan Freeman in it at the top, and the guys from the Ocean's 11 movies or Ocean's 13, whatever, one of the newer ones. And he's a private detective, and so this little girl goes missing, presumably kidnapped. And the mom doesn't seem to be all there. She doesn't really seem to be all concerned that her daughter's missing, even though she's the one who basically, or the family filed a missing persons report. So they go to look for this girl, And I can't explain. I'm having a hard time explaining it. You have to watch the movie, but basically, like towards the end, like she gets rescued, but then like her mom, isn't still really all that enthused that her daughter was saved and she's back because her mom was the partying type, the whore type. She likes to go out and do other shit. Doesn't really give a fuck that she's a mom.
So she was just like, man, I just messed my whole like party scheme up.
Break for her.
And then,
messed up my good time.
Basically, yeah, kind of like that. And it was negligent. Like her daughter was missing and she didn't care, or she didn't seem to care. The family did, but not so much the mom. And it's really interesting. I forgot the name of that movie, and it's really a fucked up movie to watch. I think, 'cause like I said, there's not a whole lot of movies that get a rise at me towards the end. That one did. I was like, it's a decent movie, it's okay, but really, I did not like it. But anyhow, I'll look up the name of it and I'll share it with you when I find it. But anyhow, talk about another movie. Good Lord. Hey, we could talk about old school movies, ones that we grew up on. Like, what is it? Okay. All right. Let me ask you: did you prefer Aladdin over Lion King, or Lion King over Aladdin?
Lion King over Aladdin any day.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that too.
I mean, I'm not saying that Aladdin's not like cool and all, but I wasn't really into that whole like. I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't got it. I just couldn't get into Aladdin. I just couldn't. Wasn't my bag, man. Lion King, I had like more characters. I had a better storyline.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I had an original storyline.
Hang on a second.
I mean, I know Aladdin. Aladdin's cool and all, but I just didn't. Just not into flying carpets and genies and stuff. Man. I mean, I'm not saying that it wasn't a great movie at all, and Robin Williams, he was awesome in it, shit. But nah, more Lion King.
Okay, we've got Space Jams and let's see.
Okay. What would you prefer more? In a kind of like a sex teen kind of like, or like American Pie-ish kind of movie. Would you like those? I was saying
of that, James.
I was saying like high school movies and stuff.
Yeah. Breakfast Club.
Like American Pie. Would you prefer American Pie or Porky's?
Those old school ones? Probably Porky's.
Yeah.
Probably Porky's. But if you're gonna talk about movies like that, then you gotta say like Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused and Can't Hardly Wait is one that I watched a lot in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And then what else?
A lot of people didn't watch it.
Okay, how about this about movies? Do you prefer old animatronics like we used to, or CG?
You mean like all those fucking dinosaurs
all
from Jurassic Park that were all like robots and shit?
What they did in Ghostbusters with Slimer and was all animatronics.
Well, that's how. I mean, okay. Well, considering the quality, then I'd probably go for like CG nowadays.
I'm sorry, like I know it just looks all fake to me. Doesn't look realistic anymore. Which I think like I don't know, to me in my opinion, I think that like people in our generation that work in that field and stuff of animatronics and stuff, like have that old school like they like that old school stuff like us. I think what they're going to do with all the new technology, the robotics these days, is take that and then use it to their advantage now. You know, hey, you want something realistic? Well, we can put skin over this robot that looks 1,000 times more realistic than when you saw in Ghostbusters. You know, it's better hardware, it's faster, it's a computer. You know, so I think robotics.
Well, there's always going to be
really uplift the creativity of the old days again, instead of CG, green screen stuff.
Well, no, I mean,
I'm not going to say that.
I think those things come in handy.
Isn't amazing the stuff they come up with. It's just, you know, I'd like to see something a little bit more realistic than that. Come on, ante up it. Come on, ante up, people. Put better storylines out there, people. Come on.
This has been an interesting test of a movie talk.
Yeah.
It's okay. What we're going to try to do is
homework would be a little bit better.
That's what I'm saying. We'll do.
I'll have like a fucking screen on the side where I can get info. You know.
Hang on. What I'm saying is it's okay. Well, James, hang on. What I'm saying is we can do this for
next. Sick of this. I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm going R. Kelly. No. I'm sick of this
shit, what we'll
man.
do? Hey, what we'll do is better prepare for next time, because so like I said, this is just like a test, like a run trial, how we do on this. You know what I'm saying? So, but once you get a laptop and a computer, or a laptop and a microphone, would be really to your benefit. But what I'm saying is I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, but the live stream, and we'll get back to this topic again. But this time we're going to pick actual movies that there's a lot of movies that we've seen. The hard part is having to put it all down on break it down scene by scene and whatnot, or to actually critique the movie. We're not movie critics, obviously. We're just fans of these things, and we want to hear, or we just want to share our opinions about movies, I suppose. But anyhow, we're going to better prepare the next time around. I think it's because we're both stoned. Are you stoned? I'm stoned too.
I'm very stoned.
Of course you are. All right. James, say good night to everybody. Good night, everybody. We'll get back to this again. We'll get back to this again pretty soon.
If I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
That's better. All right. We'll see you later. I'm not going to hang up with you, okay? If we get disconnected, I'll call you back.
All right. We'll do that.
All right. Bye.
Good night, folks.